Welcome back to another video. This will be circular pattern within SOLIDWORKS. So this will be the case study part. As you can see over here, we're going to have the following part design. If I will roll back all the way over here, maybe one step more. Let's say that we want to pattern around a circle those elements. And in this case, we're going to see that this will be the circular pattern. So within features and faces, we can select multiple elements. In this case, we have extrude, a cut and a revolve. I can clear all of those and I can directly select them over here. So let's say that I want this extrude to be pattern, the revolve and the cut. So we can have all of those mirrored over here. Now we can either go with instance spacing. In this case, we see that we're going to have a total of 6 instances, and over here the angle will be 60 degrees. Or we can go with equal spacing. In this case, this will go and define those 6 elements, but let's say that maybe only 2 of those, we can leave it like this. If I will hit OK, we're going to have that applied. If you want to modify it, let's say to 4, the layout will look like this. Or we can go with instance and spacing, and in this case, SOLIDWORKS will automatically divide that. So we see the full circle divided by 4 will be 90 in this case. Let's say that I want to go with a different value, maybe 75, and those will no longer do that full circular pattern. We can also do some additional changes. So we can, we have over here direction 1 and direction 2, but we can also mirror bodies, or we can enable this instance to skip, and this will work the same like for linear pattern. We can select those with the mouse and we can enable and disable those. Over here, we're going to see that if we're going to hold down the shift, we can add. Let's say that those two are not added. If I will hold down shift, I will select those. And if I will hold alt, we'll actually add those. And as we can see, shift will remove those. So keep that in mind. If you want to manipulate multiple instances at the same time, you can easily do this with a combination of alt and shift, and you can drag on top of those. We can also do an instance to vary in this case. If I will enable this, we're going to see over here the following dimensions. So this will be a space increment, and we see that default spacing is 75 in this case, and the increment will be 5. That means let's make it a little bit easier to showcase this. I will just go to 2 of those with an offset, let's say the elevation angle will be 50 in this case. And we're going to see that it will overlap actually in this case. So let's go with 60. Now, if I will disable that increment, this is with 0. And if I will add 5 in this case, we're going to see that nothing will happen. This is because that direction will only happen starting from the third instance in this case. If I will make this all the way up to 3, we're going to see that now between those we don't have any offset values, but over here we're going to have an additional 5 degrees. If you want an additional 10 degrees over here, we can increase this. And as you can see, only starting from the third instance, that increment will be applied. If I'm going to add another one, now we're going to have the increment larger over here, so this will actually be 20. If I will add an additional one, this will be 30 degrees. So this is how you can do a variation of the angle between a radial pattern over here. Let's say that I want to disable that for now. I want to apply those. If I will click OK, we're going to see that in this case, I also added a fillet over here. And that fillet will be applied directly to the resulting surfaces over here that are being patterned. That means if I will modify this, let's say that this will be only 5. If I'm going to click OK, we're going to see that those fillets will have a warning. And that warning is mainly to the fact that it now currently has missing edges. since those edges have been initially selected and they are no longer added to the model. But as you can see, the fillet will still work, but keep in mind that there will be those warnings that it's usually a good idea to have those fixed. If I'm going to change this back to 6, it will no longer have those problems since I already have those edges selected over here. Okay, so this was an overview regarding circular pattern. Within my previous video, I discussed linear pattern, and I will make a similar video within the near future for the other type of pattern within SOLIDWORKS. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this kind of content. I will position a similar video on the left side, and I will also add a subscribe button to the right. So that's it. Thanks for watching.